Let her go. I just found out that last October when my wife left me for 6 weeks that she slept with one of my best friends, who was a groomsman in our wedding. 5 times. At the same time, she was still come back to our house to have a good time with me. A few months after she came back, we got pregnant with our first child. She has kept this secret from me for over a year and made me think that she had not done anything. I feel destroyed inside. The fact that we were each other's first and only was a huge deal for me. I hate the fact that she is the mother of my child after finding out that she did this. I feel disgusting knowing that she had slept with him while still sleeping with me. The guy she cheated on me with just keeps lying to my face about it. I can't be around our child because I'm losing my mind. All I do is drink and get angry. We were in the process of getting a divorce when this happened, and the only reason I found out was that her parents told me. She wanted the divorce, not me. I can't get the thought of her sleeping with him out of my head. I just keep wondering about how much other stuff she has lied to me about. I hate myself because I knew she was lying when she came back and I didn't listen to myself. I keep wondering if my son is really mine. Doesn't matter, I still love him. I can't get away from her because of our son. She will always be a part of my life. I am losing it. Comments. Look, get to a doctor and get some help. Has she confessed? Admit this to you. If your ex-buddy is still denying it, I assume not. If legal action has already started, you need to talk to your lawyer about paternity. Since the child was born in your marriage, the law assumes the baby is yours, and it takes testing and a court order to change the husband presumption. Have to move on this because there are very hard timelines. If you wait too long, the courts will not even consider the issue. Not to put this in your head to hurt you, just motivation. Your wife didn't stop having a good time with this dude after she came back. Your friend fathers the child. Now you get divorced and don't clarify the issue. You divorce and have to start paying child support. She moves and maybe even marries the ex-friend. It comes out you are not the father. Imagine the pain of financially supporting them to raise their child, 18 plus years. Every month. Maybe even having to pay a percentage of medical and daycare. OP responds, I am proceeding with the divorce. Didn't mean to sound like I wasn't. I have been thinking about the paternity test since I found out and have decided to do it. When I said that I wouldn't be able to get away from her, I meant that she will always be a part of my life, and it will take even longer for me to be able to move on. We have had problem after problem our entire relationship, and to find out that she has been lying to me about this kills me. I put every ounce of myself into this relationship, and now other than my son everything is gone. I love my son more than anything and just want what is best for him. I don't want him to be around her, but at the same time she is a good mother. I do not drink to excess. I sit in my house trying to deal with this. I don't have any close friends, and if I tell my family they will make matter worse. I just feel alone, and drinking takes the edge off when I can't clear my head. I do not drink on a regular basis, and I have never done anything stupid. I have already let our friends know what is happening, and they are all very supportive of me. Even though most of them are her friends, no one have tried to justify what she did, and all agree that she made the mistakes, not me. I have stopped drinking by myself. We have begun to deal with issues like finances and taking care of our son. I am pushing her as far out of my life as I can get her, and my true friends are helping me through this. I still feel every day like I can't deal with this, but it is getting better. I know you all understand what I'm going through and that it will take time to overcome this. Story 2. About a month ago, my wife learned of my emotional affair. When we talked that same day, she confided that she was also tempted in the past on a few occasions. Once at a class reunion where she said to herself this could be fun, and once on a trip with a female friend where a guy hit on her and kissed her. She denies that anything happened. I know what I did was wrong, no doubt, but what I can't figure out is why my wife is being so loving, forgiving, and nice by helping me through my remorse and depression from what I did. Was sure she would leave me for what I did. She acts like nothing happened. She hasn't even asked for details. I'm kicking myself every minute of every day for what I did to her in our marriage. She is being nothing but nice. It doesn't feel right at all. Yes, I had the affair, and I didn't think I was looking elsewhere until I was in too deep. Then I found myself trying to understand what I had done and why. It's still not clear to me why I did what I did. After 31 years, I did that. I have had no contact with the other person since being discovered. I am completely transparent to where it bothers her at times. I still can't believe she hasn't left me. She's a wonderful woman, beautiful, smart, and a great person to have in your life. The possibility of her having an affair in the past makes me wonder what I would do with the information she isn't asking for now. How would I react? Right now, I don't care what happened. She's still here with me. I just want to move forward. If she finally gets upset and divorces me for what I did, I can only blame myself. If she did something in the past, it could be the reason to either fix our marriage or mutually call it done and blame ourselves for ending it. I know she needs me, or at least it appears she needs me. I'll take what I can get at this point. For those who have been cheated on, is there a fear that if you do divorce that your ability to survive financially, socially, etc., will disappear? Could this be one option my wife is using? This seems unhealthy and will eventually explode. I've told her that I have compassion for all of the people I hurt in the mess I created. And I told her, and have proven, that I have had no contact with the O. And know that doing so would be a big mistake. If my wife does divorce me, I would ensure that she and the family would be taken care of financially. As far as losing me to someone else, that is not an option for me. As for her cheating or not, it's only noise in my mind. The real problem is what I did. I'm not heard about the possibility of her cheating on me in the past. At least, not now. The reality wake-up call I received reminded me of how much I love my wife. Yesterday, I read the needs list recommended. I went through the list and could not find one thing that I could clearly say that I wasn't receiving that caused me to start the E. Is it possible that it's so good that I wanted more of all of it even if it required the O? This question will come out in my IC. I have several things to do. Stay focused on my wife and marriage. Learn why I did what I did, and never repeat it. Constantly reaffirm my love for only my wife. Keep no contact with OW no matter what. I had dreams of me in the OW last night. Nothing physical, thankfully. Since mine was an E, I woke up feeling like crap, as if I was back in my E. I never want to have these dreams again. Imagine if I had talked in my sleep about her. My wife and I had a long talk yesterday about my mood swings that are related to my E. I shared some of the E information that I shared during my IC. She told me to stop telling her that stuff and leave it for the counselor because she can't handle it. I explained that I'm trying to understand everything right now, and I'm analyzing everything I've ever known about feelings. I want everything to be real and not fake like the E feelings. I also told her that her asking if I do really love her wasn't helping me at all because it gave me something else to analyze even though I wasn't doubting it before she had asked. She is so scared of losing me. She's afraid that I will leave the house and head towards the O. I told her that me doing that is not an option. I'm just trying to understand how I changed enough to let myself do what I did. Do I really understand what feelings are towards another person? And I want only reality in my life from now on. She also says that she wants to change to be the person I want her to be. I told her to be herself and don't be a fake. I told her that if I didn't like the way she was, she would know it. I don't want her to try and be someone she is not just out of fear of losing me. No one should live like that. I can't believe that I'm being treated as if I am so valuable when I was the one that had the E. I should be the only one that is scared of losing it all, and she should be kicking my ignorant rear each day over it. I know I am. Now she's getting scared that the E is starting again every time I get a text, receive an email, use the computer or my phone. I told her that she can look at anything at any time. She asked me if I deleted a text so that she couldn't see it. I told her no, and that incoming and outgoing text phone numbers can be seen on the phone bill online at any time. I can't blame her for asking. It's still early after the EA, and I'm still in somewhat of a fog, but I have maintained NC and can prove it beyond a doubt at any time. My biggest thought problem right now is understanding what feelings I am supposed to have as her husband with regards to passion and more. I don't want to be her roommate. I'm either going to be her husband, or an ex-husband. I'm trying hard to become the best husband she can have. The midlife part that hit me last year isn't helping the process. I will keep working on it until I get the answers I need. Each week, since I was caught in my EA, my wife has been trying to change in order to be a better wife, as she says. I'm not asking her to change, nor am I pointing out any faults. She is doing all of that. This past week, she realized that I do much of the grocery shopping and cooking. And that's fine, because I don't mind cooking. She doesn't enjoy cooking and isn't that great of a cook as a result. Many things in life are like that. Well, while we were eating a meal that I cooked at the dinner table, she asked me if I had wished that she would cook more often. I said that at times I do, but when neither of us feel like it, we end up going out. I'm also glad that she doesn't cook that much because sometimes what she cooks is not very good. Sorry, just being honest. Then, this past weekend we were together doing an activity. I was getting frustrated that things were going as hoped, not with anything she was doing, and showed my frustration by not being in a happy mood. When we got home, she started to cry and tell me that she's trying to make me happy and can't even do that, and that she doesn't cook enough too. I need her to be herself, and I told her this. The effect it's having is starting to push me away as I try to come out of this fog. I'm trying my best to assure her what my intentions are. I admit that I'm not at 100%. I still don't understand myself enough to answer that question without a shred doubt of myself and my future. But I am going to IC to learn what I need to do to myself to get to 100%. I have told my wife this, and that I want all doubts to go away. I'm also having personal issues in dealing with the fact that I cheated and may not deserve her love. She knows this as well. Theo was someone I knew of decades ago, not even a friend at that time or someone I ever talked to in the past. I was shy and living with the stigma of being labeled due to a personal issue. I had no contact until FB this year. I have not had any contact since the day I was caught. She is not married, divorced a long time. My wife knows who she is. She does worry that I'm communicating with Theo while I'm at work. But those emails would show up on my phone as well. And I told her she can look at my phone at any time. In fact, I leave it where she can look at it and put it back down where it's at when I'm not around it. All my emails show up on the phone. The year is over. I don't compare her in the never have. I've told her several times that I do take full responsibility for what I did, and the pain everyone involved is experiencing. I do hug her, hold her hand, and listen to every word she is saying. I don't like to see her cry, but it's a reminder of what I did, and then pain it's causing her. I am patient and understanding. I'm also fearful of the anger stage. I sense that the anger stage will occur in a few months. She has done too much rug sweeping of the whole thing since discovery. I have a gut feeling that I will be told that she wants a divorce at that time, especially if I'm still acting the way I am by then, sad, depressed, moody, etc. If it happens, I caused it by having an E. If it doesn't, I helped cause that as well. These past few days have really been hard on me. The slightest negative emotion on my part is taken by her as her failure to be a good wife. For example, when equipment doesn't work as expected, like a lawnmower starting, I get frustrated because I have taken care of it as recommended. So, I show my frustrations and lose any mood to be happy and humorous. She saw this and interpreted it as her being a failure at making me happy. Another example is my dislike for so-called reality TV shows. I'm of the opinion that these shows are mindless, and I know that what I watch instead is viewed in the same way by others. So, when she mentioned something about one, I said what I thought of those shows. She knows how I feel about them already, so that was interpreted along the lines of us not being able to even communicate anymore. And she started to cry. If I'm not telling her that I love her, or hold her, or touch her, or anything else like that, it's seen as me not loving her anymore. I completely understand that it was me who created the whole situation I'm living in now. I don't want her to hurt every day. I want her to be happy. Yet, when I'm not doing one of the aforementioned affectionate behaviors, all I seem to be doing is reminding her of the crap pile I have become. She's afraid to lose me, and even has fears that I have driven the EA further underground. I constantly offer her access to any source of information she wants to see, with or without my knowledge, to help her know that it completely ended on D-Day. With everything that I've written above, seeing posts in other sections asking about how long it takes for the BS to recover, and my age, 50 plus, I've been thinking about asking my wife if she would be happier if I wasn't around. I'd give her everything we own, and I'd find a room to rent somewhere. I'd keep my living expense to a minimum so that she gets most of my income. I'd come by to care for the yards and the rest of the outside of the house. If she wanted a divorce at any time, I'd give her whatever she wants. I can't continue to live in a depressed state in front of her, which in turns just causes more hurt in her. I'd much rather she not has to see her failed husband on a daily basis and relive the hurt each time she sees me. I'd rather be alone and depressed for the remainder of my days than remind her that she married a ducking cheater. I decided to start to fill out all of the forms I could if I were to file for a divorce. I wanted to see what the emotional impact would be upon me, as the forms made me think about the real impact a divorce would have on me. I felt nothing negative or positive. I downloaded the forms, filled in the names, assets, debt, proposed alimony. All of it, still nothing. What does that mean, if anything? I've had a mental relapse lately and it's really got me feeling like crap. I'm dreading my emotions when I receive a gift from my wife on Christmas Day. The person I greatly disappointed, hurt, and destroyed trust will be giving me a gift that I feel I don't deserve. I know all too well that I should feel extremely lucky and grateful for her being such a loving and forgiving wife who still cares enough to get me a gift after what I did. Yet, I fear that I may start to cry and have to leave the room while my mother-in-law and adult daughters wonder what's going on, since none of them know about the EA. I'd feel better if I had received nothing. At least that would feel justified. Getting a gift just doesn't even sound right to me. I know. Suck it up, put on a good show, and appreciate what a wonderful wife I have. Just needed to spew this mindless crap. I was planning on taking the majority of yesterday to myself so that I could decompress from 2 straight days of family events. My thoughts were overwhelming me and I needed some time alone to just think. I was hoping that my wife and at least one of my adult daughters would go out shopping with her, but neither daughter wanted to go with her, and I had already expressed my desire to be alone. After I learned that neither of the girls wanted to go with her, I knew that I had to trash my plan and spend time with her. Well, I found her crying in the bedroom saying that no one wanted to be with her. I told her let's go, and we left. I dropped her off at a mall, as we discussed, while I took the loaner car to the dealer so that I could pick up our car. Our car wasn't ready, so I sat around at the dealer for 2 more hours while she shopped. When I finally did get our car, I picked her up at the mall. She had only 1 bag. She never does this. I asked her if she wasn't in the mood for shopping, and she said no. She knows that I don't enjoy shopping with her anymore, mainly because I do nothing while she shops. So, this killed her shopping desires. So, we went out for dinner. We both had a stiff drink with dinner. We both felt awkward, hardly talked much during dinner. We decided that I should prepare a lasagna, put together and keep in the refrigerator until ready to cook for the following night for when our oldest daughter and her husband arrive in town for a few days. Well, that showed her once again that she can't cook because I was doing all of the work. She did finally help do that last 2 layers, but I could see that it bothered her. I thought nothing of it since I've been doing the cooking from day one, so I didn't mention it. I fell asleep while she took a bath, but at least we were in the master bedroom together. I think things are starting to hit her hard. The depth of the incompatibilities between us that were always there, and the new incompatibilities from my change. Yet we still tell each other I love you, one day at a time, I guess. I used to shop with her all of the time. I'd sit on a bench, find a bookstore or a sporting goods to store, and wait for many hours. I can't do that anymore. I'm not young and I want to use my remaining time better than what I have in the past. I was being nice by foregoing my personal day in order to make hers better. It just didn't go as hoped. The car taking too long, huge crowds at the mall, her stating this, and our troubles. I tried. I really did. Things just didn't go as hoped. We had both succumbed to the fact that the day was a bust. A month later, last night I went from my position of I lost my passion for you to don't touch me. I'm not interested in you. Although I didn't verbally express these feelings, it has to come out eventually. It's been less than 1 week from our first MC session and I'm already convinced I'm 100% done. We have another MC session scheduled in a little over a week. I'm not sure if I should tell her there so that the C can help her, or if I should tell her before or after and deal with it the best I can. That last time I said something, she tried to X herself. That's why I'm thinking about doing it at MC. I had little to no contact with her yesterday, just early morning before I left for work, and a little when I got home. I was friendly to her, but I felt absolutely no passion for her. When she hugged me, it felt like I had a female friend getting too close for comfort hugging me and I wanted it to stop. I know that there is no way of telling her that is not going to hurt, but I will not leave her alone after I tell her. She continues to refuse a support method to help her. I can't be the only one caring for her at this time while I intend on leaving. The two are only somewhat compatible for a very short period of time. Eventually she's going to want me out of her sight so she can deal with her emotions. I need someone else there to ensure that she doesn't do something crazy to herself. I keep trying to get her to talk to someone. I think she may be, and is not telling me who it is, which is fine with me. Her anger stage is finally kicking in, as it should. I still go to IC, one day at a time. Months later, keep it short cause OP had major health issues. The divorce papers have been pulled. I wish everyone the best of luck. Story 3. The cost of affair. It has been a week or so from D-Day 2. I am slowly recovering from shock of this second betrayal and what is clearly an EA and mild PA. Holding hands, kissing his cheeks, who knows what else. I don't believe there was anything physical. The last few days, I have been in 180. Hard as it has felt good to feel empowered and strong again. It has given me something to focus on and not wallow in self-pity. I had this exchange with DS this morning. Don't overthink it, but we have to the hard work of figuring out the holes and fixing them. Otherwise, we will be right here again. This is an opportunity. Whether or not this situation is fixable is not baked in. It depends on our future commitment to actions, behavior and attitude changes. DS, comments such as that are not helpful. I am happy to check out too. Try to keep your negative thoughts to yourself. I understand. I thought I was being positive. What did you mean by check out? DS, it feels that you have left the relationship. We are strangers in a house together. That is checked out. I understand why, and I respect that you need to figure out what you want. I am prepared to pay for my inappropriate actions. I make no excuses. I am sorry that it hurt you and our family. I made a mistake and I hope you can forgive me, but if you are unable, which I see being a very real possibility, then I will move forward, as will you. As usual, I have no intention of wasting years of suffering over one pseudo-indiscretion. I hope that we will move forward cooperatively. 180 has held up about as well as can be expected. 2 weeks from DD. Let's call it a modified, slightly angry 180, with 1 or 2 lapses. She texts me today and asks to hang out later tonight. What do you guys think? I am tempted to say yes, and spend the time listening. We haven't talked at all or a week, and I'd like to know what is going on. I don't believe there is anything else happening. I believe she has had a couple of hard conversations with her friends and she understands what she has to lose. She is going through fog withdrawal. She says she is right days of NC. I don't know one way or another. Here's an update from this morning. So, it has been a night and morning of conversation. She is clearly in agony over this 180 I have put us on. She is clearly also in regret and rage mode. Nowhere close to remorse. On the other hand, it has done wonders for me. I am sleeping better. I am clear-headed when we talk. The entire time, I wasn't emotional or angry, and I am starting to see a way to a future without her. Very empowering. I told her by getting a new phone, she is actively working against restoring trust. I told her she still has no compassion for me and is still looking out only for herself. She says she is an NC, but something tells me she isn't. It seems like she has gotten over him a little too easily. I think her agonizing conversations with me is really cake eating and display. My conversation with OMW next week will unleash a bit of a test to the NC. Let us see. I made it clear that her first goal is NC and I hope she is sticking to it. I told her my first goal is control and mastery of my emotion and building up my psyche. I told her my moving downstairs was a part of that process. That I don't trust her and I refuse to let her hurt me again. I got gaslighting, I got rage, I got minimizing to the extreme. I got an alternative theory of how we could reconcile. I got an apology. Thanks to this forum, I looked through all of it. One thing is that I have stopped mincing words and now call it an affair. And that she cheated on me. Her responses have been less reactive than they used to be. PS was supposedly on 2 weeks of NC, the kind of NC that involved her visiting him and letting him know she doesn't want to talk again. Well, this morning, I called OMW and let her know about the affair. Kept it to just the facts. She asked if I would call OM and conference her in. I politely refused, saying I wasn't emotionally ready for that situation. I did say that if she called him and conferenced me in, I'd be happy to talk. PS happened to call a few minutes earlier. Told her that I had talked to OMW. She couldn't get off the phone sooner. She obviously called OM despite the NC. She then calls me and accuses me of destroying someone else's marriage, of being unstable, of undertaking a disgusting act, of adding the last straw on our marriage, and that she is done with me. I don't know what to think. Have I just destroyed all chances of R? I feel like she wasn't really close to R anyway, and that we are only 2 weeks from DD. And the more I do to destroy the affair quickly, the higher the chances are that things will settle down later. I also feel more empowered because I am finally being a little more aggressive after years of being rolled over. I guess we are in the aftermath. She escalated by moving money out of an account. I am not worried. I am fairly well protected. She took my computer from my home office. Not sure she is going to find anything of importance. She says she will file for a D. She continues to say this was the nail in the coffin. Broke 180 this morning and had a long conversation about telling OMW. Got a lot of blame shifting. I resisted and stood up for myself pretty well. I am beginning to see that there were some serious issues in our marriage, which are still not deal breakers. But seriously, I don't believe that she has the humility and selflessness to deal with a proper R. I don't think she even likes the new person she has turned me into. There is no future with this guy, and I still think this guy will turn and run from her. What I do know is that my wife will cut her nose to spite her face. She will file, even if only to get the last word. I have backed down so many times, I have to remind myself that this time, it was an affair. Not some inconsequential argument about this or that. She walked out on the marriage. Game of chicken is over. Another update. I am starting to see some willingness to work with me, but all the classic signs are still there. She doesn't want to give me access to her phone, because it is her business. She continues to minimize my feelings, suggesting that I am reading too much into the situation because I am reading too many online articles and books. She continues to suggest that the affair was a result of poor communication between us. She continues to be angry with me because I revealed to OMW. She has escalated on several fronts. She took my computer, moved money around, etc. Also, 180 has been going well, as hard as it is. I do keep failing the don't argue, walk away bit. I keep getting sucked into long discussions. I have learned to keep my cool while she has continued to be emotionally unpredictable. How do I learn to stay away from these discussions? She took my computer when I wasn't at home. Not sure what she plans to do with it. Likely trying to get at what I know about OM's previous affair. She doesn't want the OMW to know about them. She is so irrational right now. She doesn't even have her own interests in mind, much less mine. Is it ever too early to file? I know I sound like I am desperate to stay married, but I haven't found peace. The kids, I am continuing to 180, separating accounts. She says she is moving out next week. I said good. She equated my snooping on her and lying about not telling OMW to her affair. To be clear, I am not asking her to stay. I have said that I will not file for 2 months, just to give myself time. That doesn't mean I am waiting for her to come back. As for freezing accounts, she really cannot do much. I have statements going back years, and she can take the cash, but there are physical assets that will more than make up for what she can move around. I have talked to an attorney about this. I have made it clear that a complete NC, with full transparency, is the only way to an R. She is reluctant to go there. I cannot make it any clearer. I have also insisted that R includes proper MC. I have told her that all these things still don't guarantee that I will want to stay married to her. We will see. Just got called by OMW for a copy of phone logs and text messages. I plan to redact all innocent parties' phone numbers on the statements. Anything else to remember to do? The text messages are extracted snippets from her phone log. Finally, my WW has been very touchy about info about a previous affair the OM had. She says she shared that detail with me in confidence, and that it would betray her trust in me. I know if I shared it. However, 1 or 2 of her texts to OM mentioned the previous affair. Do I remove that part, or let the crap fly? Please remember that even as foggy as my WW is right now, I am hoping for R at some point in the future. I guess the pressure is getting to her. She spent 2 hours this morning talking. She says he genuinely wants to move on but threatened that sending the text to OMW would lead to our divorce. I did not back down but went with Chap's advice and offered to keep the other affair back in reserve. She wanted the whole cake. She said sending any texts would end OM's marriage and he would feel obligated to pick up the pieces with him. I didn't back down. She is currently having a nervous breakdown. Cancelled all apps. Asked me to arrange for the kids etc. likely histrionics. But it is hard to tell. The stress has been high on her. For now, I am not going to do anything. But I hear her offer full transparency and see, is this the mascara running capitulation we are supposed to be looking for? This gives me leverage and right now, it is one chance to defog her. It may not work. If it doesn't, I can still use it. She checked herself into a hospital, likely histrionics. In a few weeks, we will know how hard her resolve is to move past this in the right way. Thanks to you guys, I know remorse from regret and reluctant R. I did. I called OMW and told her of the affair. I said I would mail her texts and phone logs if she needed. I am told she has been giving him the third degree. There is apparently something very incendiary in the messages and my wife, who never really signed up for proper NC with verification, feels her safety is at risk, or OM's. At this point, I am trying to use this leverage to get as much defogging I can. Yes, it isn't that absolute capitulation, but I can still see the texts. And I can still test NC later. I can trickle truth too, if you will. I know this will rub a lot of you the wrong way, and I may be super naive. But I am going to do this a couple of weeks and see if she is really ready to put this behind her and start working on us. The full package is going out this week. 2 things have changed. My wife says she needs to move out of the house for a few days. And 2, she said she didn't care if I sent the whole package. Because she isn't friends with OM anymore. I sometimes feel like the defogging has begun, and my wife is saying a few things in the right direction. But I continue to see a lot of blame shifting, rationalization etc. She is still not prepared for total transparency. She isn't putting kids first. It is still all about her. 50% chance of filing in 2 weeks. This chick still thinks I am not serious. I think the Owen previous affair is either family friend or there is a child involved. My W indicated that his sons, who are adults, are capable of harming him. I now think that is a ruse. My WW has only had one affair. The OM has had past affairs and is desperate to keep them secret. I am sending out the whole package of texts. Since my last update, my wife says they have had cut things off. And she is ready to move on. I am not informing her of anything. I have made it clear that if she doesn't go on a family trip that was planned months ago, I am filing. Same with her moving out. She is the bigger breadwinner, but not only. The common accounts are well protected. She can only move some smaller cash amounts around, which I have too. I have talked to attorney, which he found out because attorney came recommended by mutual friend. Not going on vacation, which was already planned and is for the kids. With 2 other families. Will be free license for her to meet OM. If affair is still in, moving out to an apartment will be the same. At least this way, unexplained absences can remain an issue. I agree, I am not reading anything into her words. Her actions are slowly starting to change. So, apparently, OM threatened to duck up my world if I continue messing with him. I am still working on the package of logs and texts, but any suggestions at this point? Is there a reason to not send a physical copy, but offer to show her everything at a coffee shop? Legally speaking, wife brings up the texts a lot now, says I am prolonging the pain, hurting OMW, etc. All this while I neither confirm or deny or say anything about anything. She is closer to remorse than any time in the past. Love TV's comment, well, OP thinks he is reconciling. He's not. He is too invested into the wife, and even if they get back together, it wouldn't be the same. She has no respect of OP whatsoever. She just walks over him. You agree? Comment down below and tell me what you think.